This is I Think Differently, and I'm Jeff Heiser. Today's show, stepping outside of your comfort zone. Thank you for joining in. This is Jeff Heiser of I Think Differently. And man, I sure hope you're having a great day, because I'll tell you, today has just been a phenomenal day for me so far. It's just beautiful outside. The weather is just gorgeous. And I just feel really good today. We've had a lot of good things happen in this past week or two. And I want to share one with you. My youngest son, I'm finally able to talk about this. My youngest son and his wife are expecting a baby in October this year, and that'll make my sixth grandchild. And I have to share with you how this took place. We haven't been able to talk about it because a lot of the family members hadn't been told yet. And now, as of this past weekend, last week, everyone in the family now knows about it, so we can talk about it. Anyways, we were in Dallas, my wife and I, a few weeks ago, and got off the plane, came through the door, and my son and his wife, my daughter-in-law, were standing there, and they had a sign, and it said "Grandma and Grandpa." And I'm walking towards them, and I'm thinking to myself, "What in the heck is he? Is he?" Like being a jokester, you know, grandma and grandpa, old man, old lady. And we walk up and we're talking, and he's still holding the sign. And then it hit me, and he just busted out laughing. I busted out crying. And people in the area, they were all looking, taking pictures. One guy was videoing it. He called his wife and said, "You won't believe what just happened." And it was really good the way we found out, and it was special. And this past week, he was down here in Florida for an event down in, I guess, Sarasota, and he came up to my mom's house, his grandmother's house, on Sunday, and he told her and told his cousins and aunts and uncles that were there about it. And so it's been a really good week for us. So, as you know, many of my shows are being pre-recorded, and this is being recorded the Thursday before Easter. So, I'll give you a time reference as to when this all took place. But what a great way to start a year off is to know that another grandbaby's coming. Update on the van, on the Blue Line Vagabond. Put some new tires on it. I know people don't like to talk about tires. There used to be a commercial on TV. They would say, "Tires ain't pretty," and then throw the tire through the window. And that has stuck with me for so long. That was like back in the 80s, I think, for Tires Plus or Tire Kingdom or one of them. But I put some new tires on, and I was a little hesitant about putting the tires that I put on. But we're going to be going to Alaska in a period of time, and just not sure when yet. But I wanted to get some tires that I knew would last up there, and so I got some. They're made by Bridgestone. They're called Revo Duelers or Dueler Revos or whatever, Revo 2s. And I had read some reviews, and I've had them on another truck, but the reviews said you could expect increased gas mileage with the new version of the Revo 2. Well, you know, I'm always kind of, I guess, skeptical about that. But I can tell you, it increased my gas mileage by about 3 miles to the gallon. I went from 17 miles to the gallon to 20 miles to the gallon at 73 miles per hour, which is pretty significant when you consider the size of the van, the weight of the van, and it's just changing tires can do that for you. So if you're having some problems with your fuel mileage, maybe it's time for a tire change. Do a little bit of research, see what will bring you some fuel changes, and maybe step outside that comfort zone and buy yourself some new tires. A couple of weeks ago, we talked about a free ebook that I'm going to have on the website. That takes place this coming week. That will be available on the website. That's at www.jeffreyheiser.com. That's www.jeffreyheiser.com. And the free ebook is As a Man Thinketh, and it's by James Allen. Now, this book was written in 1910. James Allen died 2 years after the book was published in 1912. But it's one of the books that inspired The Secret. And on the back, it talks about the book. But I just wanted to share this one piece with you. And it says, James Allen's most famous book today is considered a classic self-help book. Its underlying premise is that noble thoughts make a noble person, while lowly thoughts make a miserable person. I suggest you go out to the website at www.jeffreyheiser.com and get yourself a free copy of this ebook that we're going to have out there. I've read it. I can't tell you how many times I've read this book. It's a short read. It's only like 47 pages. I think the bound copy is it's 59 pages. It's phenomenal. It has so much information in there that is just, you don't think like this. And once you start thinking the way he lays it out in the book, things happen. Things change. Your thinking changes. It's something that really changed my life after I got done reading it the first time. And every time I read it after, I find something new. So I suggest you go out there, get the book. It's www.jeffreyheiser.com. And all you have to do is click the button that's there right on the home page. Get me my ebook, and it'll walk you through the whole thing. Today, we're going to be talking about comfort zone, and I'm not going to go too deep into this. This is like an introduction to stepping outside of your comfort zone. And I want you to know that we have a lot of information about this. I have a lot of information about this, and I do a lot of speaking on this. I travel around the country speaking on this about how you need to step out of that comfort zone that you're in so that things can happen in your life. Now, in the beginning of the show, I was talking about my son and his wife, my daughter-in-law, having a baby. Well, most people think, oh, that's nothing. You can make a baby in comfort zone. No, you can't when you have problems. And they had to go the route of IVF, which is in vitro fertilization. And it required my daughter-in-law to receive a shot every single day for, I think, like 30 days. And it was either in the small of her back or in her stomach. Now, if that's not stepping outside of your comfort zone, I don't know what is, because I don't think I could go every single day taking a shot. Now, if I was a diabetic, I would have to, because that's going to be what saves my life. But, to have a child, to make a baby, man, I tell you what, it could be really easy to stay in my comfort zone and say, you know what, I'm not getting those shots. I don't like shots. And these weren't easy shots. These were painful shots. And she had to take a lot of medication and a lot of different medicines and go through a lot of different diet regimens and pill regimens, all these different medications. But it was successful in the end. And that's what this is about. When you step outside of that comfort zone, magic happens. I want you to take a moment. Just maybe when this show is over, you can do it right now. You can get there quick enough, but I want you to take a moment and I want you to think about a place, a safe place that you go when you feel where you can feel emotionally secure when you're feeling down or like you're nervous or troubled or whatever, but you feel emotionally secure about your work or whatever. It's the place where you go and all your decisions are always right and where your life is always the same. You know, that place where everything is okay. Where work is predictable day in and day out with a steady paycheck. You don't have to worry about it. The paycheck's always being deposited or you're always getting it in the mail. That place where you feel safe, warm, and secure. Now, you might be thinking, Jeff, what are you talking about? I'm talking about your comfort zone. I want you to think about your comfort zone. That place where you go, where everything feels okay, where you don't have to worry about anything and you just get on with getting on. It's just you don't have to worry about nothing. Everything's safe. Everything's okay. Nothing ever really happens. I want you to think about that place. Because, we all started out in a place that was safe, warm, and secure. Then life began. Yeah. We had to leave the comfort and security of that place we called home for 9 months. We had to face a strange and unfamiliar bright new world. It's like a blast of light. Boom! There you are. Hello world. I'm here. Why do you think we come out crying? It's not because we got smacked on the butt. It's because, man, all these things are hitting us at once. New faces, new places, bright lights. It's cold. It's not warm anymore. You want your warmth. You want you feel close and comfortable. And it's because, here we are. We're into the world. That was our first step out of the comfort zone. Our first breath was painful. But without that painful moment, think about how different your life would be. Think about that. You take a deep breath, you start crying because it was painful. But if you didn't take that deep breath and get out of that comfort, you'd not be here right now. You wouldn't. You wouldn't be here. As we grew from being an infant and into a young child, each of our accomplishments, everything we did, involved leaving a place of comfort. It involved leaving from that safe, familiar place in our mother's arms into an unknown, exciting place of possibilities. See, as a kid, we don't know the dangers. We didn't know the risks. But as we ventured out into things and as we did things, we began to understand what risks were, and we began to understand from our parents and from our surroundings and from, if we had siblings, that certain things were risks. The first time we crawled, our first step, our first bite of solid food, our first day of kindergarten, they all required leaving comfort behind and taking a risk. That's why some kids cry when they go to kindergarten. I was amazed. Both my grandsons, actually 3 grandsons, none of them cried when they went to kindergarten